Whenever you attempt to lose weight by restricting calories, your body interprets that deficit as a threat. It responds by triggering a cascade of physiological hunger signals designed to make you eat. Most diets rely on mental willpower to ignore these signals, but against a primal starvation response, biology wins every time. This presents a mechanical problem. How do you maintain the caloric deficit required for weight loss without setting off the physical alarms that cause you to binge? The answer lies in a framework known as energy density. It's a simple metric that measures how many calories reside in a specific weight or volume of a given food. By manipulating three specific variables, water, fiber, and protein, we can engineer a diet that actually hacks your sense of physical fullness. Sustainable weight loss is built on the strategic manipulation of eating smarter volumes. This bar chart visualizes physical stomach volume and how different food profiles trigger the stretch receptors that tell your brain you are full. Take 400 calories of pure oil or fat. It occupies an incredibly small physical footprint, leaving your stomach's stretch receptors completely untriggered. You consume the energy, but you still feel entirely empty. Now look at 400 calories of chicken and rice. You gain a moderate amount of physical volume, providing a baseline level of satiation. Finally, look at 400 calories of water-rich vegetables and leafy greens. For the exact same caloric cost, this sheer mass of food expands to push your stomach's stretch receptors to their absolute physical limit. To feel physically full while in a caloric deficit, you must exchange hyperpalatable, calorically dense foods for high-volume, low-calorie whole foods. This chart evaluates your daily calorie budget like an investment portfolio, where the goal is to secure the highest possible satiety return for the lowest friction. The Mayo Clinic and MedCrave fiber and water multiplier strategy sits firmly in the high satiety, high friction quadrant. The inputs here involve systematic swaps. You trade dry, dense carbohydrates, like a cup of raisins or a slice of bread, for water-heavy, fibrous alternatives, like a large bowl of grapes or steamed broccoli. This dramatically increases the sheer physical weight sitting in your digestive tract. Because fiber resists rapid breakdown, it significantly delays digestion, keeping you full for hours. But there are heavy physical trade-offs. You will have to haul massive volumes of produce from the grocery store. Your food will spoil faster, and you will spend a significantly larger portion of your day just chewing. Cautionary: there is also a physiological cost. Rapidly introducing this much daily fiber without scaling up slowly can cause severe gastrointestinal distress. High-volume eating guarantees you won't be hungry, but your jaw, your fridge space, and your prep time will pay the price. The Medanta strategy prioritizes lean proteins and resistant starches at every meal to control hunger over a longer time horizon. Traditional Indian cultural food structures naturally incorporate these resistant starch anchors into everyday eating patterns. When you consume boiled potatoes that have been cooled, or whole legumes like dal, the resistant starch acts as a barrier, physically slowing the absorption of glucose into your bloodstream. This biological delay stabilizes your blood sugar, actively preventing the sharp afternoon energy crashes that typically trigger uncontrollable binge eating. The trade-off here is convenience. These specific starchy anchors rarely exist in a quick grab-and-go format. They demand deliberate, daily cooking and meal planning. Stabilizing your blood sugar successfully removes biological binge triggers, but it demands you trade convenience for preparation. Returning to our satiety ROI chart, we can examine two absolute extremes of diet execution: environmental control versus aggressive mathematical restriction. First is the Pritikin environmental architecture strategy, which relies on low to medium friction. On the other side is the Sprint Medical 1200 calorie blueprint, which demands extremely high daily friction. The Pritikin approach manages your environment. You pre-stage low-density snacks like edamame at your office desk. Then you establish strict if-then behavioral rules, like going for a 10-minute walk, to combat stress eating before it starts. The trade-off requires upfront weekend preparation and a willingness to endure social friction when you repeatedly reject communal office treats. Conversely, the Sprint Medical blueprint uses aggressive restriction. The inputs here are unyielding mathematical rules. You are allowed exactly 30 grams of paneer, or precisely 2 chapatis. This rigidity yields highly predictable, rapid weight loss, and completely removes daily decision fatigue because your choices are already made for you. But it offers zero flexibility. It requires meticulous food weighing for every meal and makes spontaneous social dining practically impossible. You can bypass willpower fatigue by controlling your environment or trusting rigid math, but both methods require a heavy sacrifice of your social flexibility. Because no single diet is flawless, long-term success relies entirely on matching a strategy's specific drawbacks to the friction your lifestyle can actually tolerate. This chart maps those strategies directly to 3 distinct viewer profiles. For the always hungry dieter, the optimal path is maximizing the Mayo Clinic energy density rules. They achieve their goal of never feeling physically empty, but accept they will spend a massive portion of their week washing, chopping, and prepping raw vegetables. For the desk-bound professional, the optimal path relies on the Pritikin environmental snacking architecture. They successfully insulate themselves from office weight gain, but they must trade the dopamine hit of convenient snacks for bland, functional sustenance. For the optimization tracker, the best path utilizes the Medanta and Sprint Medical structured frameworks. They achieve maximum efficiency and data-driven predictability, but pay for it with an absolute loss of lifestyle spontaneity. While the laws of thermodynamics are fixed, you can successfully manipulate the physical sensors in your stomach to make a caloric deficit tolerable. The cost of manipulating those sensors is always paid in a non-monetary currency. To achieve sustainable weight loss, you must choose what you are willing to spend: your time prepping food, your social flexibility, or your mental willpower. Define which of these currencies you have in abundance and adopt the framework that asks for exactly what you can afford to pay.